Good evening, everyone. Good to see your smiling faces. Dr. Stacy here. I am so excited to share information with you tonight about LifeWave's technology. I am going to share a PowerPoint this evening. I feel like it is time to do that again, and I feel like there's some good information in here, some good nuggets. I've been traveling all over the country using this PowerPoint, and everyone seems to really like it, so I'm going to share it again. I can also put it in the Team Evolve Facebook page if you're interested in using it yourself. It is one that you can edit. So with that, before I share, I always have to do our disclaimer. So as you know, I am not a medical doctor. I have a PhD in integrative medicine and a PhD in functional medicine. And for 3.5 years, I have utilized LifeWave's technology not only in my own practice, in my family, in my world, but also helped hundreds and thousands of other people be able to utilize this technology around the globe. LifeWave is open in 82 countries, but we are not here to make any claims to diagnose or to prevent or treat or cure anything at all. We actually won't be discussing any diseases tonight. I won't be going over any of that. When you have questions, and I would love to be able to answer your questions towards the end. When you have questions, please ask them in terms of the maybe systems or organs in your body that aren't functioning correctly, and maybe the symptoms that you're experiencing, and I can make some recommendations. But I can tell you this, when you learn about this technology tonight, if you use this non-transdermal patch, if you use this wearable light technology consistently, and for those of us that have been using it consistently, when you do, you will see changes over time. This is not a quick fix. If you are a guest tonight or you're watching this replay and you're like, I'm not for sure what this is, I'm skeptical. Totally fine. Be skeptical. Totally fine with that. But just know this is not a, oh, I'm going to see something or feel something on day 1 or day 10 or day 30 or even maybe day 90. And if I don't, it's not working, because this technology works over a time period. It has a compound effect, and you're going to see that this evening through this PowerPoint. So let me screen share for all of you to be able to see what we have here. All right, make sure I've got it up, and good. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about LifeWave. So, looking vibrant, feeling great, enjoying life as we age. And you're going to hear a little bit about me here in a moment as well too. But I think most people would probably say, yes, these are some of their goals. We all know we're going to age. We want to age gracefully. I love what Dr. Stan says. I want to go out in my cowboy boots, not a diaper. Okay. So being able to enjoy life is key, no matter what age you are. And whoops, let's go back one. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong little button with the admitting people at the top. So what if you could change the trajectory of aging? What if you could be a younger, more youthful you? Well, let's talk a little bit about some people. I'm sure we have people on here in their 30s. This is Alli. She lives a pretty healthy lifestyle. She likes to work out, travel. She loves to be able to enjoy life. But Alli's in her 30s, and she's starting to notice she can't party all night. She's concerned about staying young and youthful and having that vitality. She's got some more pressure at her job, so a little bit more anxiety. Doesn't want to get into any medications or drugs. So think about this. We know when we're young, teenagers, right? We have boundless amounts of energy. Kids do. We know as we age, we have less and less of that energy, because we have less and less of the cells, the master cells in our body we're going to be talking about, that this patch activates, that keep us young and youthful. And so these changes start to creep in. Sometimes it's metabolism, sometimes it's the aches and pains. Sometimes you walk into a room and you're like, why did I walk in that room? And you go back out and come back in to try to jog your memory. Those things start creeping in when you're in your 30s. This is me. It says late 40s. I just turned 50 a couple weeks ago, so not anymore late 40s, but close. I live a healthy lifestyle. I love my family, teaching, travel. Those are my faves, right? Helping people. I feel amazing. I don't have any health issues. Maybe you don't have any health issues, right? I've always taken care of myself. I've always done all the things, all the tools in my toolbox. They've always been important to me. For those of you that know my daughter's story, that's how I found out about this technology. All the things we did with her for 15 years, I did for myself right along with her. It's important to take care of yourself. We've been talking a lot about self-care lately. And sometimes people think it's selfish to take care of yourself, but it's not. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to really take care of the people in your life that need you. And not only those people, but what about being able to help others? You know, I always talk about LifeWave being a stone that you drop in the pond, and that ripple effect goes out, the people's lives that you're able to help and impact through using and sharing this technology. So yeah, I've always been healthy, and that's important to me. This LifeWave, this X39, this tool in my toolbox has been the most powerful tool I have seen in my 20 plus years of holistic health and wellness. I have a whole lifetime, 50 years of being immersed in holistic types of things. I always say if you can't eat it or kill it or grow it, don't eat it, right? If you can't kill it or grow it, don't eat it. For me, that was how I grew up. Nutrition was foundation. My dad was a hunter, my mom was a gardener. So we had all of that at the table every single day. My great grandmother had essential oils, she had herbs, she had tinctures. We had all the things. And we weren't your, what you call today, your crunchy family per se, but we just didn't go to the doctor. We used holistic modalities if needed, chiropractic, things like that. But we always were focused on the foundation. So for me, prevention has always been key. Always been key to prevent those top 5 killers, right? Heart disease, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia. Those things are things you want to stay away from. You want to stay away from medications. You know, it was interesting the other day, I was talking to Trey, and we were, in Punta Cana, and we had just walked away from someone that was sharing their personal struggles they're dealing with in their health. And we walked away and he goes, Mom, how does somebody get in that bad a situation? Like, how does their health get that bad? And I said, buddy, it's just lifestyle choices, diet, lack of information, maybe don't know these things exist. Your world is what my world is. And so these people maybe didn't know about these other things, these other alternatives or healthier choices to make. And he said, gosh, how are they going to remedy that? I said, well, they're going to stay consistent with patching. They're going to make some healthier lifestyle choices. And they'll get there. They'll get there. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So prevention is the key, right? Longevity is the priority. Always learning new ways to stay healthy. Vitality and overall wellness have always been something that are important to me. So if this is important to you, then this is a technology for you, right? I said I'm 50, but my biomarkers show that I'm 25. I don't know any 25-year-olds with Alzheimer's or dementia. I don't know any that are on a list of prescription medications this long, let alone, cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. So staying young and youthful on the inside prevents those things from happening in your life. That's important to me. Now, we've got Carla. She's in her mid-50s. How many of you on here are grandparents? Grandparents, great-grandparents, not me. I'm raising my hand for you all. Nope, we are nowhere near that. Rhonda says she is. Kathy, she is. We got some grandparents on here. So grandparents love being active too, right? They love their grandchildren. They want to be able to get down on the floor and do the things that they did with their kids when they were younger. But probably just like Carla, you're noticing some changes, a little bit more aches and pains, right? Harder to get up off that floor. You need a chair or something to grab onto. Maybe a little bit more fatigue than you used to have. You can't run around in the backyard like you used to with the kids. Maybe picking up a little extra weight. That metabolism has changed. Sleeping, maybe not so fantastic. A little bit of back pain, looking and feeling older. Well, her doctor has some answers. Oh, you're just getting older, part of it. We can run some tests. Let's look at some prescription drugs. And she's going, can I ever look young again? Then we have Ben. Ben is in his mid 60s. He loves being active. We got some runners on here. We got some people in here that like lots of pickleball players, right? I know you guys. I saw a lot of beach walkers in Punta Cana last week. So Ben's in his mid 60s. He loves being active. He looks forward to retirement and traveling. But Ben has noticed some changes. More aches and pains, decreased libido, not sleeping that well, knee pain, stamina is ebbing, and he's having a longer time to recover. So his concerns are heart disease, prescription medications, possible knee replacement, and he's thinking, am I going to be mobile in my retirement? Well, then a friend asked, have you ever heard about LifeWave? Have you ever heard about this patch? Has anyone ever told you about this wearable light technology? That's probably why you're here tonight, because someone asked you. So we are going to talk a little bit about these cells, these master stem cells that you have when you were born. You were born with an abundance of them. And as you age, they decline. Your ability, let me go back here because I want to get this box moved so you guys can see this picture. Fantastic. Your body's ability to heal itself declines as you age. These cells decline as you age. So you're born with an abundance, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but by the time you're in your 30s, that's middle age. Did you know that? I'm sorry, but the average life expectancy right now is in the early 70s, and females on here, you were going to live just a little bit longer. But 30s, mid 30s is middle life. So that's where we're looking about half of these being active. And by the time you're in your 60s, for those of you that raised your hands that said you were grandparents and great-grandparents, you've got less than 10% and none beyond that. And so that means your body's ability to heal itself is declining. That's what we call the degeneration process. So we're going to talk about this technology and regeneration, helping your body to regenerate as you age. So what about stem cell injections? You know, with my daughter, we banked both my son and my daughter's cord blood when they were born. I knew the power of stem cells 23 years ago. I knew what they could do to help in the future, potentially with heart disease and diabetes and cancer and all the things that I mentioned already, because I did a lot of research into them. And so I banked both of my kids' cord blood. And then when my daughter went in the hospital at age 4, wasn't able to use that cord blood. Unfortunately, they wouldn't let us do that. A lot of things happened and everything went wrong. A year later, we get out of the hospital and we start doing all types of holistic therapies, which included stem cell injections. And we spent over $100,000 on injections alone, not to mention what we spent on hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy and other things that were supposed to help with stem cell production. Because stem cells are the holy grail of healing. They are. They really are. Stem cells are pluripotent. They have the ability to change into any cell, tissue, or organ that is needed. Your body has its own built-in ability to heal itself. But as you saw from that last slide, that ability declines as you age. And so we did see some results from the stem cell injections with our daughter. Not what we were hoping for, not for that amount that we spent, but we did see some changes. Thank God we had no side effects or anything happen that was, bad with her. But stem cell injections, like I said, are expensive. She wasn't happy with those needles entering her body. Those are invasive. And like I said, we saw some results, but not as effective as we were hoping for. Some other people that we had seen and heard and read about had received those results. So what if there was an affordable alternative? What if there was another way? Would you be interested? You guys, when I found this technology 3.5 years ago, I walked into a wellness center. I was doing some meditation breath work for a man that owned a wellness center here locally in Sarasota, and didn't know him, met him through a mutual friend, and was asked and said, sure. Something inside of me said yes. God said, yes, go, do, follow. I'm like, okay, I'll go. And after I finished doing that for him, I was walking out of his center and he said, hey, I've got this technology here that's going to activate these master, stem cells in your body. Have you ever seen this? And I said, no, but all I need to know is how much it costs. I'll take it right now. If you have something that does that, I'm in, because I understand the power of stem cells to heal. And he said, well, let me show you the metrics on my Whoop. I'm sure you guys have heard of the Oura Ring or the Whoop, or even your Apple Watch will monitor some metrics. So I said, that's fantastic. He showed me his phone and he thought it was a placebo. And I said, I know it's not a placebo. I understand the body and how it can heal itself. But he promised me that it wasn't. He said he monitored himself for 90 days. This was a tennis pro coach, an athlete. And so he saw the difference in his recovery and in his own anxiety and his sleep and his body's inflammation level. He had all the metrics, and he did a month on, a month off, and a month on, and he was in that 4th month of patching again because he knew it was really working by all these metrics. And I said, well, that's fantastic. Just give it to me. How much is it? And it was $150 retail. And I walked out the door. I said, thank you, bye. And never thought another thing about it, except I went home immediately and put it on Taylor. And the next day, I got a phone call from April Vaughn, who's been a friend of mine for 20 years. And she said, Stacy, I found something that's going to help Taylor. And I said, okay, send me the link. I'll order it. I know you. I like you. I trust you. You're into all things holistic. Give me the link. No, you've got to hear this. You've got to hear this. And she starts telling me about how she was having troubles in a wheelchair and all this joint pain and aches, and her inflammatory markers were through the roof, and she was supposed to be in the hospital, and just all this stuff. And I said, that's fantastic. I'm so glad you're getting results. What is it? I need it for my daughter. And I said, send me the link right now. And she sent me the link, and I looked at it and I said, April, I just bought this yesterday. I was like, okay, seas have parted. The world stopped on its axis. This was pure alignment, right? This is divine alignment. And I said, I need this immediately. How do I get this? She goes, well, you can get it wholesale. And I'm like, fantastic. I'm in. I'm ordering right now. And she said, well, David Schmidt, the inventor of this technology, is actually going to be in your area about 15 minutes from your house in a few days. You ought to go and hear him. And I said, okay, great. I'll go and hear him. Sure, no problem. Whatever. I'll go listen to the inventor of this technology. No clue what I was looking at or what I was going into. But I called my good friend Laura Balzer on here. And I said, girl, I know how into all things holistic and healing you are. You cured yourself 5 years ago from stage 3 breast cancer using all alternative holistic ways of detoxification and boosting your immune system. And so I'm sure you would want to go and hear about how you can really keep your body healthy on the inside. And of course, we went and listened to David that day. And you guys, I'll tell you this, the first 2 hours of his science and technology were mind-blowing. Like, we were like, oh my God, this man's a genius. Over 150 patents. I mean, just so smart, but so down to earth, so humble, so amazing, just a great guy. We're in there in a hotel ballroom with 250 people, and I'm looking around and I'm like, I'm the youngest person in this room. I was age 47, and they were mostly like 65 to 85. And then after David talked, we had about an hour of personal testimonials, and I'm going to share some pictures with you here in a minute. But those personal testimonials that Laura and I heard, we were literally crying, like crying. We were covered in chills, and it was just so powerful. If you have not listened to people's testimonials yet, we have over 5,000 recorded, so I'll pick one, anyone. We listen to them every day. The testimonials we hear every day are mind-blowing from people, and we listen to these for an hour. And she goes, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to tell the world about this. I've been a proponent of stem cells for 20 years. I've taken people to Mexico to get them outside of even my daughter. They're amazing, and these are ours, helping our own body to heal itself. And she goes, well, if you are, I am. I said, yeah, but I'm not doing anything else but just telling people. That's it. And of course, the rest is history, because here we are 3.5 years later, telling people all over the globe about it, right? Because it's just makes such a big difference. So maybe you're interested. Let's talk a little bit about David, right? I talked to you just a little bit about him. This is him in his lab, right? But he has, for the last 20 years, we just celebrated, literally on Sunday, the company's 20-year anniversary. He has invented a dozen different patches over the last 20 years. And up to date now, we have over 15 global distribution centers and I think 12, 13 corporate offices globally. Laboratories and manufacturing in California, San Diego, and in Galway, Ireland. We right now have enough patches for $2 billion in sales. That's impacting hundreds and millions and billions of people's lives with this technology. This was created originally over 20 years ago for the Navy SEALs. David invented the first patch called Energy Enhancer. That was a super undercover black ops program he was working on. His company was contracted by the U.S. Department of Defense. So this was never meant to bring to market to the public, but God, right? The divine stepped in. And unfortunately, we had 9/11 here in the U.S. The World Trade Center's bombing went down and the Department of Defense pulled out. So David started working with Richard Quick, who's a 6-time USA Olympic female athlete gold medalist swim coach at Stanford University. And he spent 2 years doing clinical studies with the athletes. If you're interested in seeing those studies and all of the 90 studies that we have, please get with a person that invited you. They can share with you that information from startx39now.com. But we have all of that research and information there. And David spent 2 years just with Energy Enhancer doing studies to make sure that he had something that he could 100% without a shadow of a doubt prove that this was doing what he said it was doing, a non-transdermal wearable light technology that activates different peptides or different processes in the body. And of course, 2 years later, he started LifeWave, which is why we are now in our 20-year anniversary, because what we have actually works. I was Zooming with someone earlier and he was talking about athletes and whatnot. And he said, how do we know this is not really putting anything in the body? And I said, well, we have USA and world anti-doping letters. You can find those on our website as well too. And you don't get those unless you're actually proving that there's nothing going into the body. And of course, that happened with the Olympics back in the early 2000s when we swept the gold medal in the swim division. And they thought we had patches that put something in the body. And so that's how we got the US and the world anti-doping letters. So all of that information's on there. So with X39, we actually have a patented wearable phototherapy patch. This has a 20-year patent on it, X39. We are 4 years into that patent, this wearable patch technology, which uses specific wavelengths of light to activate these stem cells without injections. So you can see here this going on the back of the neck. You can put it on the back of the neck. You can put it below the belly button. I have mine here. Now, this is really important because I literally get this question every day, I think. What patch do you have on your chest? This is the X39, and I put it here so you can see it. It's just for you. It doesn't have to go here. But I recommend you put it here before you leave your house and go out, because other people will ask you, what is that? And you can say, this? Oh, this is my longevity patch. Or, oh, this got rid of all my neck pain. Or, oh, this is the thing that's keeping me young and youthful. They're going to want what you have, right? So it uses a wavelength of light. That wavelength of light is very similar in a wavelength of light that would come from the sun that elevates vitamin D, or a wavelength of light that would come from an infrared sauna that would be able to help reduce inflammation or to be able to reduce pain or improve cardiovascular system. Or maybe a wavelength of light from a laser, cold laser, blue laser, red laser, or maybe a red light pad on your face or on your body, right? Or a red light bed. The difference is, we don't need an outside light source. We don't need to go somewhere, do something, use something. We are the power source with this technology. We emit heat. And so this works with our body's heat. That wavelength of light that comes off that patch, it doesn't just help reduce inflammation or help anti-age or help to reduce, inflammation or lines or wrinkles or whatever it may be that the laser or the pads or the sauna is doing. we actually elevate a very specific peptide with this patch. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that, okay? As you look at these pictures, this is not out of the norm. This is very normal from our technology, because what we're doing is we're elevating GHK-Cu copper peptide. And yes, it's most commonly known in the skincare world for that anti-aging component: lines, wrinkles, spots, circles, sagginess, crepiness. GHK is also very commonly known in the wound healing world. When we look at, obviously this little kid got his finger cut off and reattached. This guy fell off of a rafter and that looks like it really hurt. But you can see just a matter of a couple weeks and things are changing, right? 8 weeks, 4 months, like things are changing in a short amount of time because we're elevating GHK. And that's a very powerful peptide when you look at cardiovascular benefits and neurological benefits, when you look at the body's ability to be able to heal itself. One of the things, like I said, that it does, of course, is activate and elevate and mobilize those master stem cells, right, that are responsible for repair and regeneration over time. So I want to share with you some more pictures. This is a short-term wound healing. You can see June 6th, 23rd, and June 30th. Big changes after radiation treatment, again, in a short period of time. But let's talk a little bit longer. This is Mandy. Mandy is patched for a year. You can see day 1 to day 355. But then look at her again a year later. I mean, she looks like her daughter, right? And that's what happens for those of us that continue to patch. It's not just about the vanity, even though I'll be the first to say I'm all here for that. It's about the anti-aging or reverse aging on the inside. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening to people when the insides of their bodies are becoming younger, youthful, repaired, regenerated, rejuvenated. It's a direct reflection on the outside of us. Same thing with Marcy. This is not a man on that 2019 picture. That's Marcy Preble, and we all know and love Marcy Preble, right? She was stage 4 breast cancer, radiation, chemotherapy, double mastectomy, reconstruction, not living her best life, right? Then comes LifeWave. And of course, look at Marcy now. I mean, she is living her best life. We all had a blast with her in Punta Cana. Everywhere we go, we do, right? Because she is the epitome of health and wellness now, living her best life. Of course, I don't know anyone that wouldn't want to keep their neck young and youthful, right? But let's look at a little bit more seriousness in the neck area. So it's not just about the front of the neck. This is the back of the neck. This is spinal stenosis. This is something that a lot of people deal with when you look at the impingement of the nerves and of the spinal column. This took 18 months. It was not quick. It took 18 months. This is from a chiropractor on our team. But there's a lot of change that happened in 18 months. Can you imagine if this person wasn't patching? You already saw the little boy's finger. Look at this guy here. Look how happy his face looks in that second picture. He's like, yeah, I got some hair back there now. And it's darker. How is that? Did you guys know that gray hair comes from a copper deficiency? X39 elevates GHK-Cu copper peptide. We always recommend you eat at least 1 square of dark chocolate, a good healthy 70% or higher cacao, dark chocolate, every day to get your copper. If you don't want to do that, you can eat liver. I just choose not to eat liver. Or you can take a copper supplement. Just a couple milligrams a day is all you need. But X39 elevates GHK. It binds to copper in your body. That helps with the hair growth and the hair color obviously changing. And of course, we don't want to forget our furry friends. Dogs, cats, horses, cows, pigs, alpacas, fish, you name it, people have patched them. So pets receive benefits as well too. We take our patch off at the end of the day and we put it on our pet. They have a little bit of benefit after us. So let's talk a little bit about some of the studies. This is one of my favorite clinical studies. And again, you can find this on the Start X39 Now website. But we all only have one brain. And this brain is very important when you look at the benefits of patching. What happens? Session 1, you can see, and this study has lots and lots of people, but you can see there's a pretty, what we call hot brain. This brain has some anxiety. It's not coherent. We don't have the left brain, right brain communicating with itself like it should. By session 2, which was about 3 weeks in, you could see some changes, right? There was some improvements. But session 3 at 6 weeks, pretty significance in the coloration, meaning looking at EEG and brain mapping, looking at a more coherent, calm, balanced brain. GHK is powerful in what it does in the brain for memory, focus, cognition. It helps so much. Nerve regeneration. I spent an entire month last November. You can go back to my YouTube channel. Dr. John Verholst and I spent a month talking about the brain and the patches and all types of neurodegenerative benefits using this technology. We've got some other benefits, of course, more energy, better sleep, able to do things you weren't able to do before. I don't know if I'd ever want to climb 14,000 feet in my life personally. Maybe fly at that level, sure, but I don't know about climbing. But this person was able to do that again after not being able to in 4 years. So if that's your passion, you can definitely get back to that. But you know, something I want to mention here that has to also take place in this, not just the knee, but looking at cardiovascular health. You know, we see in one of our clinical studies, every 6 weeks of patching, your vascular system is functioning 8 weeks younger. Every 6 weeks, that vascular system is functioning 8 weeks younger. That's powerful, especially when you think about climbing to 14,000 feet. I don't know if you've ever went up in elevation, even 5,000 or 6,000, you're like, whoa, you can feel it in your cardiovascular system for sure. So being able to do something like that, the endurance and the stamina that it takes as we are aging, the patches are very powerful for that. And of course, the word got out. I need to update this, baby. Did you guys see Mike Tyson's picture this weekend with our patch on? That I'm sure you all know who Mike Tyson is, right? Lots of athletes have patched over the years. We have lots of professional athletes. I'll tell you this, a lot of them don't share though. We've caught these pictures, you can tell in different activities, whether it was Wimbledon or, you know, the swimming, whatever, David, you know, Beckham, soccer, whatever it may have been. But a lot of them don't share. A lot of them don't want their patches seen. Can you imagine why? Why would they not want to? It's their secret. It's their upper edge. Something that they have that the other players on the field don't have, possibly, most likely. That gives them that upper edge in a way that's safe. And I'll tell you this too from talking to them. If they get injured, and most all of them do at some point in time, they're not happy about the options that they have to recover from that injury. Because what happens is they're needed on the field or on the court or wherever it may be, and they're pumped full a ton of medicines, a lot of pain medicines to get out there on the court, on the field, and go again faster. And they don't get time to recover because they're needed out there. And so they are very happy to have something that if they get injured, and I've worked with some of them that have been injured, that this is a way to help their body heal faster on its own without using pain medicines and anti-inflammatories and other drugs that are harmful to them and they don't like the way they feel. So it's pretty powerful out there, not just for our athletes, but even for us every day, right? In the gym, doing the things we do. So what if you could be a more younger, youthful you? What if you could have the things that you see over here, bone, muscle, tissue, nerve regeneration, faster wound healing, greater mental clarity, mental energy? If anything were possible, what's one thing you would choose to experience differently with your health or in the health of someone you love and care for? Because it's not just about you. A lot of times people come to these Zooms and they're thinking about themselves. Like, I have this issue, I have this symptom, this is going on. What can help me? But what about the people in your family that you love and care for? What about the people that depend on you, rely on you? Or what about the people that you just want to spend the rest of your life with and have the best quality of life with? So what you're going to do is you're going to get back with the person that invited you, and they're going to talk to you about one of our 3 wholesale packs that works best for you. You can see they cost different prices. There's different amounts of patches that you can put in each one of them. They're all customizable. You can put any of the patches together that work best for you and your family, and they'll talk to you about this. I figured out what I want to be when I get older, and that's younger. So with that, I would love to spend the next 20 minutes answering questions that you have about this technology. Now, keep in mind, like I said before, we're not here to claim to treat or cure anything, and I won't be discussing any diseases. So if you want me to answer questions, I would love to answer questions. It's been a while since we've done a really in-depth Q&A. And just keep in mind, we all have organs: lungs, liver, heart, brain, kidneys, right? Pancreas, spleen. We have glands in our body, you know, we have our endocrine system, our adrenal glands, our thyroid, our pituitary, our pineal, our thymus. We have systems and organs. So I want you to tell me, because your body does not know a disease. Do you know that? You weren't born with a list of diseases that you could potentially get when you got older. You were born with organs and systems and cells in your body, trillions of cells. So something's gotten them out of balance. Something has. I don't know if it was your food choices. I don't know if it was lifestyle choices. I don't know if it was an accident or an injury. You know that, obviously. And as I mentioned earlier, if you can kill it or grow it, eat it. I will always say this as a functional medicine doctor: food is your foundation. A patch is not going to fix poor choices, okay? So food is always foundational. Supplement when needed, because right now our soil is very deficient in what we need. Our food is very deficient in the minerals and vitamins that we need. I always recommend Celtic sea salt, a pinch in your water. Water is important, of course. Half your body weight in ounces every day. A crystal of Celtic sea salt on your tongue before each glass. You've got to stay hydrated, and you have to get those minerals. Most people don't realize they're mineral deficient. You are vitamin and mineral deficient, and you don't even know it. And so when we look at disease processes in the body, we look at that deficiency, that nutrient deficiency, and we look at the toxicity from the food, from the water, from the environment, from personal care products, cleaning products, from stress. Stress is toxic. It wreaks havoc in your body, in your cells. And so, yes. Are you needing me, Laura? Do you need me? No. Okay, good.
No, I just wanted to say stress is the culprit to so many things. And I was just, oh.
I thought it was like, oh God, is something going on? No, I agree with you. Stress is definitely the culprit. It is absolutely at the root. It's either a physical stress, a mental stress, an emotional stress, spiritual stress. There are all kinds of stressors. And so looking at those foundations are important. And of course, using your patch to support the body's systems and organs. Okay. So I would love to share with you guys, some of these questions and answers. So how would you respond when someone says the patches aren't working? I don't see any results. I love this one. Okay. So let's go back to 1 month for every decade you are old. That's your starting point. I put this patch on in the morning. I leave it on 12 hours. I take it off. I throw it away. I do it again the next day, 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 right? At least a month for every decade you are old. As I said in the beginning, this is not a quick fix. This is not 30 days, I'll give it 30 days. And if this problem's not fixed, it didn't work for me. That's not how this technology works. This is not a one and done. All right. This is a compound effect over time. You're elevating peptides that go and then activate these master cells that are responsible for repairing. That can't happen overnight. That can't happen in 30 days, right? Sometimes people feel things in the first, couple days or couple weeks, but that's just an elevation of GHK. You're not feeling actual healing that fast, right? It takes weeks, it takes months, sometimes years And so what we see in our studies is about 80% of the people are going to notice something in the first 3 to 6 weeks, but the other 20% are going to be about 3 to 6 months. And sometimes it takes longer. Bob Campbell took 7 months and 3 weeks before his ankle and foot pain and knee pain was gone. What if he would have given up at 7 months? Like, don't give up before your miracle. And if you're not feeling something, that doesn't mean it's not working. I don't feel my hair growing every day, and thank God I don't feel my blood flowing through my veins. But those things are happening all day long, every day. So be patient with the process. Stay hydrated. Use your Celtic sea salt, like I said. You can get it on Amazon or Whole Foods, right? Get a big old 1-pound bag for $15. Use those things, those tools to help you, your diet, your lifestyle choices. And I had a lady earlier, she said her husband dropped like 30 pounds. I think it was like 6 or 7 months using the X39 and didn't change a thing, didn't change his diet or anything. And it was just the process of reducing inflammation and helping his body to get into balance. So I'm not saying that it won't work if you have, poor lifestyle or diet choices. I'm not saying that at all. But do the best you can to help support the environment inside of your body for you to have that best experience. Okay, so give it time, be patient with it. That compound effect really does matter. And again, listen to people's testimonials. Go listen to Bob Campbell's. It was almost 2 years before the 206 precancerous skin lesions fell off of his body. Not 2 months, 2 years. 2 years is going to go by no matter what. You're either going to get older or you're going to get younger. You're either going to feel better or you're going to feel worse. So stay consistent with that, all right? What exactly is in the X39? My naturopath doctor wants to know, and also her bodybuilder friends competing want to know what is in the patch and what it does in the body. Okay, so I'll give you the technical information, but you can get all of this off of startx39now.com. There is a 52-page PDF. You can print it off. Of course, David has done a lot of videos on this telling you exactly what's in the patch. But this white part, if you look here in the center, this white part here is a cloth that is embedded in between the smooth side and the sticky side. These are 2 3M hypoallergenic polymer shells. That white part has embedded in it a crystal lattice structure. That crystal lattice structure is made up of a solution of molecules. They're called chiral stereoisomers. Chiral just means mirror. Stereoisomers are molecules that form together in a very specific way, different from isomers. Stereoisomers form a reflective lattice structure. So this patch has in here a reflective lattice structure made up of a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, sugars, oxygen, and water. Not stuff from your kitchen. Molecules, stereoisomers, lattice structure, reflective. I put it on my body, okay? When I put it on, my body's heat or light that I emit hits this patch, and a specific wavelength of light is reflected into me, okay? Light therapy, wavelength of light. It's called photobiomodulation. Light creating change in the body. That wavelength of light enters my body, and it either activates a specific process in the body or activates and elevates a specific peptide. Each patch has a different lattice structure, so it reflects a different wavelength of light. All right, it's no different when I get in my sauna and I pick a button that says cardiovascular, and wavelengths of light come out from the panels in the sauna and help improve my cardiovascular function. I push a different button, different wavelengths of light come out, and that's set for detoxification. So light's creating change in the body. We have a patent on this wavelength of light, so it's not like a sauna, it's not like the sun. Totally different wavelength of light. You won't know which wavelength of light it is. Obviously, that's why we have a 20-year patent. But that wavelength of light, our patent states that this light in the blood elevates the specific peptide, GHKCU, copper peptide, and in turn activates your stem cells. That's what our patent states, and you can find that clearly on startx39now.com to be able to show them that information. All of our studies are there. all of the patents, it's all there, all the research, all the science, so you can find it all there, send it to people. That site doesn't link to anyone, so you can share that with anyone you would like. Okay, so hopefully that explains to you a little bit more detailed what's in it. All right, so I gave someone the X39 and Eon. She put one of the patches on and ended up with flu-like symptoms, and now she's leery to try again. What can I tell her? Okay, I love this. So here's the thing with the patches. I always share with you guys, we don't have any contraindications, side effects, interactions, nothing harmful, nothing can happen, nothing's going into your body, right? It's wavelength of light activating a peptide. So water is key. It is so key. Most people don't drink it, or they'll say, oh, I drink lots of water. And you're like, how much do you drink? Oh, I drink 2 bottles a day. I'm like, that's great if you're a toddler, but you're not. You weigh 220 pounds. You're dehydrated. You're probably going to feel like crap, right? You may not feel great if you are so dehydrated and your body is starting to use light, right? Impacting your mitochondria, the powerhouse, the energy source around inside of all of your cells, that ATP, you may not feel great. You may feel fatigued. You may feel a little like, ooh, I don't feel great. I have a little flu-like symptoms, or I have a little headache, or I don't know. Stay hydrated. You guys, I'm serious about the water. Water is key. You're going to feel incredible if you're hydrated, right? Your cells are going to be like, yes, this is what I needed. Light, water, I'm in business. We're ready to go now, okay? But if you do, it's okay. It's fine, right? It's not common for people to have flu-like symptoms or have a headache or go to the bathroom a little bit more than normal. Sometimes people do. I know Laura and I didn't. We were like, oh, this is what we've needed. 6 patches. We slapped those babies on and ran, right? But not everybody's the same. We're all different. So just tell her to stay consistent with the patch. Use your Celtic sea salt, right? Your minerals, and get hydrated. That's going to be your best friend. So don't stress over it, okay? All right, so acute injuries. Can you double, triple patch if you have an acute injury? Fantastic question. You know, Laura had hip surgery a couple weeks after we started using these patches. She doubled up with the patches immediately after surgery. I know it was about 2 weeks later, she goes in to, have her post-op with the doctor, and they were shocked. She should have been bruised from her toes to her hip, as what the surgeon said happened in that surgery operating room, and she didn't have a bruise on her, right? So can you patch up with more than one? Yeah, you definitely can. When my son had 2 different separate basketball accidents, one was a split lip, one was a sprained ankle, I put 3. I put 3 X39, 3 Eon, and 3 carnosine all over his face and neck, and then at a separate time, all over his ankle. And his body, who is young, teenager, right? He was 16 at the time, has everything it needed to heal. But it went so fast. I mean, he was not getting stitches. He's like, whatever you got to do, Mom, do it. I'm not going to the hospital. Like, he's an absolute no on any of that. And it was a couple of days. It was like nothing, right? By the end of the week, gone. Completely closed up. Same thing with his ankle. He was supposed to be on crutches for 2 weeks. By the end of the week, he was on the court dunking again. I mean, it's just the body can heal quickly. And if you're in an acute situation, yeah, patch multiple, right? For a short period of time. It's acute. You don't need to patch on a daily basis, multiple patches. One patch gives you 100% of the benefits. That second patch is going to give you about a 20% bump. So if it's acute, yeah, bump, go for it. Carnosine is great for tissue repair. That's why I used carnosine with my son. Eon's great to reduce inflammation. And of course, X39 elevates that GHK, which is amazing. All right, so do you have a patch to help with deep acne scars, and how long does it take to notice change in healing? That's a great question. So when we look at the skin, scars, wrinkles, crepiness, moles, dark spots, sagginess, all of that kind of stuff, we always use X39. X39, we can see changes. I know for me personally, I didn't, like I said, I was super healthy, nothing going on, didn't really notice anything. About 3 weeks, improvements in the gym. But around that same time, my chiropractor, I went to the chiropractor, he goes, what changed with your skin? I go to the chiropractor. I go every single week because I would take Taylor every single week, and I get adjustment because she's 100 pounds. I'm picking her up all day, every day and night. And so I'd always get adjusted too, kind of a little tune up. Well, he would notice changes around 3 weeks. Around that time, my husband said the same thing. He's like, your skin looks different. And I've always had great skin. I told you earlier, vanity. Yes, I am. I'm all about skincare. I'm all about the oils and the butters and the lotions and the detox oils and all the things, right? But both of them could see changes in my skin. Around 3 months is when we start to see the increase in collagen production. So, at up to age 18, your collagen is like, right, we've got 5 types of collagen. It's amazing. When you look at collagen, you think hair, skin, nails, right? No, it's not just hair, skin, nails. It's the glue that holds everything together on the inside. Your collagen is responsible for your gut, your metabolism. It has so much to do with that. So it's a very, very powerful component of all of your body. But after 18, we lose that collagen production about 1% every year. So when you look at scars and healing, the ability, I found this picture hit was it yesterday or today? It hit my memories. I'll have to look back, and I thought, oh, I need to do a before and after. So I had burned my arm. If you see this, I don't know if you can see this little dot right here, this little baby dot right here. Probably not, but maybe so. I had burned my arm with a curling iron when I was in middle school. And this picture was hit my memory. Oh, look, it has to be today or yesterday. And I thought, oh my God, I didn't realize I knew it was bigger and I knew it was brighter, like a white bright, but I didn't remember how much so. But changing the inside, right? The collagen, increasing your collagen from the inside. This is barely like a teeny tiny baby dot that you can barely see. Like I can barely see it looking at it. And it was the size of a dime and bright white from a scar from middle school that X39 took care of. So collagen production at that 3-month mark starts going amped up. The other thing that helps tremendously with the skin is aloe vera. Aloe vera is incredible. It is a nighttime only patch. It was developed for lines, wrinkles, spots, crepiness, sagginess, scars, moles. I've had moles fall off my body. Like I had a mole on my side and it started kind of itching, hurting a little bit, itching. And then it was like a couple weeks later, it just fell off. I'm like, okay, well, thank you for that. That was fantastic. Didn't need to go to the dermatologist. It just fell off, right? So when you look at deep scars or acne scars, use your X39. Of course, I always use E on second because that reduces inflammation and it's just so powerful on the inside. But the aloe vera is a must for sure. It does increase collagen. It does help remove scars inside and out. I went to last year to a different massage therapist that does just lymphatic drainage. And she was, she does the abdominal area. And she said, did you have a C-section? I said, yeah, about 19 years ago. And she said, there's no way. I could barely feel that line right there. And it used to have big bumps, like especially on the ends, those big bumps in your scars, those were there forever, completely gone. Like baby hairline now. Wasn't that way for 19 years, but using the patch, definitely. So I would use that. And I would honestly also use the day and night cream. Of course, I love the eye cream, the GHK eye cream, but I would definitely use the day and night cream. I use those every single day. That day cream goes all over here and the neck. During the day, the night cream goes all over the décolleté area during the day and during the night. I coat this area with night cream because it's just, oh, I love it. I love the night cream. I love the day cream because it's light. It goes great underneath my makeup. And I also use the night cream as hand cream every day, all day, because you know how women, you see their hands and they age, they look old from the backs of their hands. And I'm like, nope, no spots, no yuckies, no crepies, none of that stuff. I use the night cream as hand cream. So that's just me though. But like I said, I love skin. I think it's very, very important that, the outside. But again, what we're doing with the patches is a direct reflection of what's happening on the inside. And aloe vera does remove oxidative stress and inflammatory stress and amazing other things inside of the brain. So definitely keep that in mind too. Okay. Again, the patch on my neck, like I mentioned, this is just for you guys to see it. It's X39 and I need you to be able to see it. So it's right here. You can put your patches anywhere you want, okay? I do not know how many cells a newborn starts with. I would assume they start with all the trillions of cells that we all have, but I do not know that information. That was a great question, though. That would be something that I would say, Google. Google that one, right? Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so each patch is activating something different. Correct. Attenuation happens with the individual patches. So yes, we put the patch on, we leave the patch on 12 hours. If we leave it on longer than that, then that's when we start to see the problem with what we call attenuation. We are activating or signaling a molecule with each of these patches, right? We're activating a process in the body. If you keep doing that, the body's going to go, no, I'm done, right? So we elevate, we activate for 12 hours, we take it off, we give the body a break to repair and regenerate, and then we activate again. But each patch has its own 12-hour window. So X39, X49, energy enhancer, daytime only. Alavita, silent nights, nighttime only. The other patches can go day or night. It's totally up to you. But every patch has its own 12-hour window. You only want to leave it on 12 hours, take it off, throw it away, or put it on your pet, and then do a new one again the next day. Okay? All right, so I lost hair after 2 months and the new hair growth after 1 month. Then after 4 months, my hair stopped falling out except for a few of my daily brushing, but I'm losing a lot of gray hair. Oh, she was just sharing that. I thought there was a hair question. Well, that's fantastic. Congratulations. I'm happy for you on that. And while we're talking about the topic of hair, let's just talk about that. My hair is doing it again. I've got these little bitty tiny, see these little pieces right here? I actually just went to get my hair done today and I was like, is this, why am I having all these like little everywhere and they're happening in the back here? I've got these little ones and she goes, this is all new hair. You have all this new, these baby hairs everywhere. And I said, why is it happening again? And she's like, there's cycles in hair. I'm like, okay, I don't understand all that. But she said, you still have new hair growths, lots of new hair. Your hair is getting thicker and, obviously it's getting longer and stuff. But when we use our X39 and X49, we can see huge improvements in hair, like you saw from the guy earlier, right? Color as well as thickness. But X49 really amps that up. We can see that increase in hair growth in the X39-49 combo. So that's a fantastic combination if you're interested in hair growth at all, right? All right, so a couple quick questions. We've got about 2 minutes left. Which patches affect the adrenal and the pancreas? So definitely use your SP6. SP6 impacts the entire endocrine system, which of course your adrenals are part of. And then the carnosine. Carnosine is so powerful for the pancreas. It balances the glycation process. Every time your blood sugar spikes, you age. Well, let me say that again. Every time your blood sugar spikes, you age. If you don't have one of those, I don't have one of those, but I've monitored my glucose. If you don't have one of those blood glucose monitoring little doodads, you can prick your finger every morning or you can pop it on one time and watch it. I highly recommend you do. But because when that blood sugar goes up, you're aging. And so carnosine balances that glycation process to keep that blood sugar balanced, which is huge, not only for aging, but also for overall health inside of your body, right? The sugar is the culprit. And I'll say this because we're out of time. You've been lied to in more ways than you could ever imagine. You have. Sugar is the culprit. You need good, healthy fats, a lot of them, if you want a good, healthy brain, because your brain is fat. You need good sources of clean meat. Good sources of clean meat. And you need a good source of healthy fruits or vegetables that are clean. Pick clean, healthy food. Stay away from the sugar. If it has a package, it's processed. If it has a paragraph, it's processed. That means it's not real. There are no veggies in veggie straws. No squash, no green beans, no sweet potatoes. No, it's fake. Which means what's going inside of you is fake and your body has no idea what to do with it. It's like a Diet Coke. Your body has no clue what to do with that aspartame except watch it eat the myelin sheath right off your brain. I'm just telling you, stay with fresh, kill it, grow it, clean food, and healthy, clean water. Lots of it. Get good sleep. Get outside in the sunlight without sunscreen. Stay away from the seed oils. It is not the sun. It was never the sun. Okay? Stay away from the sugar and the toxic food. Patch and pray. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I look forward to seeing you again soon.